Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different twists and turns as well as surprises in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, we do know that one of the big plans by J.J. Abrams with The Rise of Skywalker is to really use this film as a way to change how we view certain scenes in The Last Jedi and even in The Force Awakens, as well as just the entire Skywalker saga itself. And though a lot of people had issues with The Last Jedi and, of course, the backlash it received and how it really changed the future of the franchise and the plans that Disney and Lucasfilm had in store for the next 10 years, however, what's really intriguing about The Rise of Skywalker is that these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intense that actually changes the very ending of The Last Jedi dramatically. Now, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Rey and Kylo Ren inside of a crystal cave, where it's described to be a moment in which Rey and Kylo Ren communicate through another Force bond, just like in The Last Jedi, where during one of Rey's training sessions, she is interrupted by Kylo Ren's presence, where it's said to be the first time they have seen each other in roughly 1 year, since the Force bond hasn't been active. It's said that Kylo reveals to Rey that he has felt a strange presence that could be a threat to both of them, where it's explained to be a line of dialogue that will change the ending of The Last Jedi, where Kylo reveals to Rey that the last time that Kylo saw Rey, when she was on board of the Millennium Falcon and left, it's said that at that very moment, he felt a dark and sinister power that was overwhelming to focus on, and that Rey agrees that in that moment where she took a final look at Kylo Ren, it's said that she felt that power too, and thought it was Kylo Ren's power she was sensing. Though both Rey and Kylo Ren didn't know, it said that this power that they sensed in The Last Jedi, that's explained in Episode 9 vaguely, is the power of Darth Sidious and his Sith Wraith, taking on the host of the Dark Acolyte. The dialogue is described to give new meaning to the ending of Episode 8, and how fans will look at both Rey and Kylo's last scene in the Last Jedi itself. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Palpatine is going to be a major character, right? A major player in Episode 9. He's not going to be a mere cameo. He's not going to have a small presence in this movie. He really is going to be a big part of Episode 9. And with that being said, we do know that this film is very important to Disney and Lucasfilm, as well as to the Star Wars community. So, this particular scene, this moment, dramatically changes how we view and perceive the very ending of The Last Jedi, in which Kylo Ren and Rey see each other during their Force bond, while Kylo Ren is inside of the abandoned Rebellion base, where Rey is on board of the Millennium Falcon and shuts the door on him. It was in that very moment that Kylo Ren felt a very evil presence, a sinister presence, that is actually said to be secretly Darth Sidious in the background, also known as Emperor Palpatine, and his Sith Wraith, taking on the host body of the Dark Acolyte. Now, what I like so much about this is that it does indeed make us look back at Episode 8 in a different light, where we have the last scene between Rey and Kylo, and from what it seems now, it seems as so that they haven't seen each other in 1 whole year. Now, that's not to say that they haven't communicated per se in 1 whole year, but they haven't seen each other in an entire year, from what it seems, right? So, with that being said, we do know that this movie is going to have a lot of revelations just like this. It's going to have a lot of changes to The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and how fans are going to look at those films once they go ahead and watch Episode 9 come December of this year. And I think what's so great about this is that it really does kind of just throw in Palpatine's presence into The Last Jedi in some way, shape, or form. Now, not only that, we also know that Episode 9 is going to feature many different elements of the Star Wars franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen. Now, Force bonds will evolve into flow walking sessions in Episode 9, and I know a lot of people were mixed on the flow walking, or should I say on the Force bonds in The Last Jedi. A lot of people had mixed reactions on that. I myself was one of them. I didn't really feel the Force bonds too much. I felt like that, yeah, 1 was maybe good, maybe 2 at max, but I felt like more than that was a little overdoing it, just in my opinion. I feel that more than 2 Force bonds was kind of just a little bit too much, but the last one now has great meaning, and the fact that they are trying to reshape that very moment at the very end of course, Episode 8 really shows how ambitious JJ really is and what they're really trying to do to reshape the sequel trilogy. Now, is this really going to be enough to really make us view the characters of Kylo and Rey in a different way in Episode 8? That I'm not quite sure about. It's all a matter of how the dialogue will actually be presented by Adam Driver portraying the role, as well as the character of Rey. What I find so exciting is how Rey actually sensed this power as well and assumed it to be Kylo Ren's, and that's one of the reasons as to why she shut the door immediately. And that's a very interesting point. I love that. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.